Let's talk about artificial intelligence. You hear about it everywhere, right? But what is it, really? The definition seems to change every other day, and a clear, practical one is pretty hard to pin down. So today, we're going to explore a new way to think about AI that might actually stick. This quote is from the early days of AI, but man, it feels more true today than ever before. What we think of as intelligent is a constantly moving target. I mean, think about it. What was once a technological marvel, something truly mind-bending, is now just a calculator app on your phone. This constant shifting makes it almost impossible to have a meaningful conversation about what AI actually is. So, where does that leave us? How are you supposed to define something that's always in flux? Do we get hung up on whether it can think like us, or its power to learn? Or maybe, just maybe, there's a more practical, more concrete way to approach this whole question. What if we just shifted our focus completely? Instead of getting lost in these big philosophical debates about thinking machines, what if we defined AI by a clear, measurable standard of performance? It's time to stop trying to peek inside the black box and start looking at the actual results. And here it is. This is the new definition we're digging into. It's software that uses data to get results. And it does it routinely, pretty much on its own. But the key here, the absolute core of this whole idea, is that it has to meet specific performance benchmarks. And that right there is the fundamental shift. We're moving away from this vague idea of a thinking machine and toward a concrete tool that performs a task. It doesn't really matter how it gets the answer anymore. All that matters is that the answer meets a very specific standard. Honestly, this way of looking at it changes everything. Okay, so if performance is the key, then what are the benchmarks? How do we actually measure if a piece of software has crossed that line from just a normal program into what we'd call AI? Well, the framework is surprisingly simple. To be considered AI, software has to outperform a human professional in one of three ways. It can produce better, qualitative results. It can produce comparable results, but do it faster and measurably cheaper in terms of energy. Or it can just do both. It's a simple, but an incredibly powerful framework. And that's the next logical question, isn't it? Because these words can feel a little subjective. I mean, better art, cheaper energy. To make this definition actually work, we need some clear, objective rules for how we measure these things. And this is really where this definition gets its strength. It lays out clear rules for a fair, scientific comparison between a human and a machine. This is all about real metrics, not just opinions. This framework even tackles those subjective, qualitative results. See, a human professional's creative work is usually judged by their peers. An AI's output, though, is judged by its users, through things like adoption rates, user polls, or public rankings. It's kind of a democratic approach to measuring quality. The energy comparison is even more straightforward. It's just science. For humans, we measure the baseline energy cost of their metabolism in calories. For the AI, we measure its direct energy consumption in kilowatt hours. This creates a true apples-to-apples playing field for comparison. No wiggle room. Now, the definition also has a few other ground rules to keep it airtight. Human intervention has to be a rare technical exception, not the norm. The AI also has to be autonomous enough to set its own smaller tasks to reach a bigger goal. And again, all comparisons have to be done scientifically. This makes sure we're not just guessing. So with all that in mind, what does this do to our idea of intelligence itself? This performance-based model kind of forces us to see AI not as some magical thinking entity, but as what it is, a highly advanced tool designed to solve very specific problems. This quote really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? We see a system that learns and adapts, and our brain immediately goes, wow, that's intelligent. But this definition argues that those are just processes it uses on the way to the real goal, solving the problem. Once the problem is solved, learning is just part of the machinery. So learning isn't the end goal here. It's not the magic ingredient. It's simply a tool the software uses to produce a result that is verifiably better or faster or cheaper than what a human professional could achieve. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Under this new model, intelligent software is, quite simply, useful software. It saves you time, its results are solid, and you can back them up. And it solves a problem better or more efficiently than a person can. It's all about practical utility, not abstract philosophy. And this leaves us with a really powerful final thought. If intelligence is simply the successful solution to a problem, then the future of AI isn't about some quest to create a thinking machine. It's about a relentless, systematic pursuit of the next great problem to solve. The only question is, what will it be?